between MCVMA and BlackDVM Network in celebration of Black History Month. So tonight we'll be honoring the first Black graduates from veterinary schools. And like I said earlier, if this is your first BlackDVM Network or MCVMA event, welcome. And if not, welcome back. Tonight we'll get started by sharing a little bit of information about who BlackDVM Network is, who MCVMA is, and what we do in the veterinary world. And then we will show our like long-awaited video, and then we'll save some space for discussions and connections in the breakout rooms after the video. So if you have any reflections on the video, or if you just want to know who was here tonight and talk to them, we're going to have breakout rooms for people to be able to connect in that way. So as you all know, we've been celebrating Black History Month all month long, right? This is the last week of February, and we've had many events and campaigns. This is our very last event, and we've been having so much fun, from topic rounds to talks about entrepreneurship. We did a Pride VMC collaboration about intersectionality. It's just been a great time. So if you've missed any of our events, you can catch most of them on our YouTube channel. That's just BlackDVM Network in the search bar on YouTube. And at the end of tonight's event, one lucky person will go home with a free 2021 BlackDVM Network calendar. Yay. There's tons of Black excellence in this calendar, so that you don't have to stop celebrating Black history, right? You can celebrate it all year long with the people in this calendar. The proceeds from this calendar are being donated to the Jody Blackwell Veterinary Student Scholarship Fund in collaboration with CARE, the Companions and Animals for Reform and Equity group. So they're an amazing group. We also have a GoFundMe campaign that we've been raising funds for all month long. We have been able to raise close to $10,000, which is our goal. So if you want to help us get there, just push the needle a little bit further, that'd be great. But the Jody Blackwell Veterinary Student Scholarship Fund already has donations from Maddie's fund with a $50,000 seed, and Tito's for students with a $20,000 seed. So the fund is already growing. It's growing very, very rapidly. Tonight, we would like to thank our event sponsors. One, which is our event sponsor for the month, is Hill's Pet Nutrition, and our event sponsor specifically for this event is Banfield Pet Hospital. They are both proud to support causes that advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. And BlackDVM Network sits right in that inclusion space by working to provide a community for Black veterinary professionals and those that support them. So without further ado, I will share a little bit of information about BlackDVM Network for those that are not familiar with who we are and what we do. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Awesome. So who is BlackDVM Network? Well, we are a community of people who are shaping the future of vet med as bold, authentic leaders. And we want to see excellence and success available to everyone, to all veterinary professionals. And we're focusing on the Black community to help advance that cause. And so, like I said, we believe that everyone in vet med deserves the opportunity to be successful. And what our group provides is, the opportunity to show you what veterinary medicine really has to offer and how to create space for people like you. So how can you use your uniqueness, your authenticity to impact vet med in a positive way? We offer events from medicine to entrepreneurship and professional development that allow our members to choose the direction that they want their veterinary career to take off. So as a community, we're really here to help people who want to invest in themselves to become a better version of themselves. From our members, we expect accountability. We expect them to show up. We expect them to bring their best selves forward and to take control of their path in veterinary medicine. And so as a member of our community, you get the chance to connect in a safe space to build meaningful relationships with other leaders. You get the chance to attend our community sessions, which are just for members, so that you can find people that you can relate to. You can attend our events, which are centered around our 5 focus areas of medicine, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, wellness, and professional development. And then you also get to meet people that can guide you in the right direction and help you focus on what you really want to achieve. And then, of course, everyone likes a good discount. So we have some discounts in vet med and with some pet products. Okay. So with that, I will turn it over to Steffi.
Thank you, Tiara. So essentially, I'll give a brief introduction of myself for those of you who don't know me. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're calling from. My name is Steffi Ann Delapree, or Steffi for short, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. Before I start, I do want to acknowledge that I'm speaking to you from the traditional lands of the Susquehannock people, and this land spans pretty much all of much of eastern and central Pennsylvania, as well as parts of Maryland. If you're wondering, I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm here representing the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association, for which I am chair of the Community Outreach Committee. And just to give you a little bit of some more information for those of you who don't know what MCVMA is or what we do really, you should be able to find our annual report on our website, which will give you a good overview. But essentially, our mission, or the mission of the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association is to promote racial and ethnic diversity and cultural competency within the veterinary profession, so as to better serve a diverse multicultural society. Our mission is also evolving a little bit to support or to match the times that we're living and to better reflect our profession. So stay tuned for that near future. You can find our impact for last year in the report, our work, our advocacy work, information about the Wake Up Vet Med movement that we all launched together in conjunction with our partners, or nine affinity organization partners last year. You can find out all our supporters of the Wake Up Vet Med initiative or movement, many of them veterinary schools present here, the administrators, administration, staff, faculty, students present here, which is awesome, and going all the way to industry. So we have quite a bit of support for Wake Up Vet Med. We do provide also support for our community through Safe Space Dialogue and other initiatives. You can find out our outreach initiatives, conferences that we attend, podcasts that we are taking part of, and speaking engagements. We have a number of empowering events that we launched for different members of our different parts of our membership. As you can see here, Native American Heritage Month, Vet Tech Appreciation Week, etc. You can find out who we're collaborating with, or all our coalitions with different organizations and partners, whether it's K through 12 outreach or all types of programming that we do. You can find more information about that. And of course, social media campaigns, because who's not on social media these days? And we range from doing census outreach to make sure people are filling out their census, to making sure people are going out to vote. So we have quite an array of things that we cover, but with the essence of DEI in our community, because we know that we are not separate from society, right? As a veterinary profession. You can read more stories about us and testimonials of the work that we've done and the impact that we've had on people, individuals, and of course, what's ahead for the future for 2021 and beyond. And as you can see on the left-hand side, our leadership here has grown and is a reflection of the amount of work that we've been putting out and what people are how excited people are to join the effort. So we've almost doubled our leadership. So you can see on the bottom left, 2021 leadership has grown to 15 individuals, and our committees are growing, and the interest in joining our committees is growing exponentially. So we're really excited. And if you'd like to join the team, please contact us. Our sponsors, as you can see here, Nationwide and Berger Engelheim are from 2020, and we've actually have more additional sponsors who came on board. And because these additional sponsors are for 2021, I do have to acknowledge them. So I'm going to put up another slide here to be able to acknowledge them, to, making sure that we have this opportunity, all of us, to be here today and to see this video and to make sure that it was possible. So big thank you to Boehringer Ingelheim, VCA, Nationwide, and Hills, 2021 sponsors. And more sponsors are also coming along. They're just, at different stages of the process. But I just wanted to make sure that we acknowledge all of you. Thank you. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, so we can go on to the next section. So I'm sure some of you may have heard, but at this event, we're actually hoping to see which of your veterinary school has the highest representation. We have 110 of us. Don't leave, because we need you to do something for us. So I'm going to share my screen again, just so we can make sure we're all on the same page about this. But essentially, this is a part where I need you to fill out a 1-question survey link. Let me just make sure. Can you all see it in the chat right now? Thank you so much, Sierra, for sharing that with all of us. And awesome. So you have about 3 minutes on my clock. You will not see a clock. I will be counting, but everybody has 3 minutes to go ahead and click that survey link and choose your school, your university. And then it will close. Let me just make sure my timer can be up for you. And once it closes, or once you're done with the survey, raise your hand. That's the only way that I'll be able to know that you're done. And then your hand can stay raised. And then when I say, okay, everybody can put your hand down. So if you're done with your survey, put your hand up. Okay. I'm not going to give the answer right away, because our system has to kind of churn all the information and turn it into something nice. So the information, the answer is going to come after the video. So I'm going to keep you all in anticipation. All right, so we have about 2 minutes left.
Where's the link again?
Do you see it in the chat?
The chat. I'm not seeing the chat.
Oh, you're not seeing the chat. Okay, let's see. Are you seeing it now? Oh, let's see.
I found it. You have to scroll up a little bit to timestamp 7:23.
Yeah, thank you. I can give you another minute on the timer. Honestly, it's 1 question. It shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, and I just added it again. I'll add it periodically as
yeah, perfect.
Adding in here. So this list is of veterinary schools. So for maybe Prairie View A&M, that might be why it's not on the list.
Yeah. We had to kind of have a limitation, or it could be a list that would run forever. But for now, we're sticking to the veterinary schools, which is kind of who we're highlighting for the event as well, for the video. We all have 1 minute, everyone. Make sure you fill your survey.
And sorry, it looks like Midwestern is not on the list, and maybe LSU isn't on the list. So we apologize.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Let's make sure. I can actually fix that live. So I'm sorry about that, you guys. It's nothing personal, I promise.
Steffi's
you don't have a school, you can join University of Missouri.
Oh.
Just put it in the chat and Steffi can update it. Steffi's kind of showing us that as much as we think she's superhuman, she might also just be human like us. So
I know, I'm totally human.
Someone said if your vet school's not up, just check UPenn. Don't do that.
No,
You guys are slick, huh? That's very smart, though. Get some more votes.
Yeah, good strategy. So I'm going to hit refresh and see what I get. Someone said UC Davis accepts all votes also.
All right, just to be sure. So we have Midwestern and LSU. Is that right? That needed to be on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll see who all is here from those schools. Clearly there's enough people because they're letting us know that that their school wasn't included. So I'm excited. They might take it away.
All right, well, the system is updated. So at this point, it's just hopefully on your end. If everybody, it's all the way at the bottom because I didn't have time to put it up in order, alphabetical order. So I see a lot of hands raised right now. So except for those who still need to have their schools.
The anticipation. I know we need to like.
I know. I wish I could give you the answer right away, but it's worth the wait. Can someone refresh and let me know that we're okay with the 2 schools that we missed? We're good. Perfect. Thanks, Sierra. All right. You know, I'm going to give you 1 minute just because that was my bad.
We're happy to see all of you guys here from the different schools.
Oh, yes.
And yes, I think Jasmine is at the University of Arizona, which is a brand new school, right?
All right, we have about 20 seconds and I'm just gonna stop it and then we can keep going. Lots of hands raised.
Is there a raise button? I just put a thumbs up, but I don't know if my hand is up or not.
No, you're good, you're good.
Okay, good, thanks.
Your vote is more important than your hand, but the hand is nice. All right, everybody, we're gonna wrap this up just so we can move along. Thank you so much for voting and for filling out the survey. Really looking forward to revealing the winner. I'm sure all of you are waiting. But before we get started, I do want to set the scene. This is a moment where I start presenting to set the scene or set the stage for the video. So this is where we are in the point of this presentation. Getting all this information was not an easy task. And there's still quite a bit of information that isn't well known out there. And that makes this project so all the more important. We got to make wonderful connections with universities that I think are long lasting and very heartwarming in the process. But you know, this project is really only beginning. So there's so much more to know about each person we're going to see tonight. Now, when you watch this video, I do want you to keep some things in mind. It will go fairly quickly. So be sure to look for, of course, a university and you know, the individuals that we're highlighting, but also make sure you look at the date that the university was established, as well as the individual's graduation year. Because those 2 dates are very much connected and do paint a fuller picture for us. And if you don't know in advance, you might kind of miss it. I also do have to say this, some of you here may not see your university highlighted. Don't feel bad. I don't want you to feel bad, okay? Some of the information was a little bit harder to get than others, or some schools might need more time to gather the information, but know this, this project, as I mentioned earlier, is only beginning. We're hoping to create, this is a pretty substantial list, but we are hoping to create what can be the most complete list possible in the coming future. And to do that, we're definitely going to need all of your help, right? Because this information is not very easy to find, and all of your, you know, little minions who can go out there and gather and help us put it all together. So we're hoping on, you know, to get some of your help for that. All right, everybody. So, you can sit tight now, relax. As I put the video up for us, make sure you mute yourself. But when the video is coming to a close, I do want to encourage you to unmute to give your reaction, clapping, whatever it is, because I should mention some of the individuals that we're highlighting today are present in the room. So that's an extra treat for all of us. They took the time to come here. So just give me a second as I pull up the video here and get excited.
So as Steffi is pulling up the video, before we, or while we wait, I, would love to know what brought you guys like to this event. Like, what are you most looking forward to in this video? If anyone wants to share in the chat or unmute themselves.
Well, personally, I wanted to see the presentation. I'm Dr. Gerald Johnson, University of Florida, first African-American to graduate from their veterinary school here in Gainesville. So I was very interested in the, what was done with the program and with the presentation. Makes me very excited to be a part of it.
Awesome. So we are completely honored to be in the presence of people that are in this video that were pioneers at their veterinary schools. So thank you so much for being here. Someone else in the chat said that they are in the video, and maybe you have high expectations for this video. It's a good video, but it's
That's okay.
Pioneer sounds very old.
We hope that we can meet, your expectation with this video.
I'm sure it will be wonderful. Thank you for
Great,
including me.
Yeah.
Someone asked if I graduated from Cornell. The answer is yes. I did not mention that in the beginning. I'm sorry, but there is one school I'm repping. All right. Are we ready for me to play?
Yeah, it looks like some people, I just want to acknowledge what some people wrote in the chat.
Yeah, of course.
Dr. Carey said she's excited to see the video, to learn, grow, connect. Love that. Celebrating these individuals. Some people are here to see, for inspiration. Some people are here to see what a full picture of history looks like, right? Not just the whitewash version of history. So they want to know, what does history look like when we include Black Americans in it? Yeah, and some people are here to support the people that they know are in the video, right? And honestly, I love this video so much because we're able to celebrate people while they're here, right? Like, when else do you get to like really be in the presence of a living legend? Because they are the first, and so I'm completely honored by that. So awesome. I think we can get started.
Thank you.
Okay.
If everyone can mute themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Please
I'm going to
mute.
try to do it, but if everyone could also please do it, that'd be great.
And if you can help me by giving me a thumbs up that the sound sounds good on your end when I start playing, that would help a lot. All right, everyone.
seeing the video.
Steffi, you're sharing your screen. There.
Right. That was wonderful. Beautiful. That was absolutely well done.
Thank you.
So sorry about the glitch in the middle there. You can never prepare for everything, can you?
That is totally okay. Thank you guys so much for watching that video with us. I get emotional every time I watch that video. I mean, it is just so amazing. And you know, sometimes we might feel like we're alone in this world, and it just takes a little bit of something to show us that there are definitely people that have overcome some of the struggles that we're currently dealing with, or that we, you know, think that we can't accomplish, that we can't overcome. So
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to say that I almost started tearing up. As a pre-vet student, like it gets kind of like, you know, hard, and just seeing like other Black students, like it just makes me feel like I can do it, and yeah,
That's amazing.
it really inspired me.
Save your thoughts. There's going to be a section where you can share all of that with us really quickly. Before we get to that part, let me just give a big thank you to all the universities who helped us with this project. You know, I'm not going to read all of them out loud, but they're here listed. And if you see your school, you know, thank your administrators because they helped us get this information. We also want to give a very big thank you to Videos, the company behind the creation of the video. Very big thank you. If those of you who don't know, Videos is also the company who helped us create our discrimination in veterinary medicine video for Wake Up Vet Med last year. So they're a very dear collaborator partner with us. And then finally, I also want to add, sometimes we need to give ourselves some flowers, right? And then we're setting the example here. I want to give a big thank you to MCVMA and BlackDVM Network for the work that we've all put together, and we'll continue to put together, right? Because this is an ongoing project, but in order to make this happen. So just wanted to put that out there. And last but not least, I want to say that this is a work in progress. I've said this a number of times, so I hope that you can remember that this is the part where we are enlisting all of you to help us make this as complete as possible. So this is an ongoing work, and however you can help us, please do so. And let's see. So this is a part, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. This is a part where I can finally reveal the university that has won. Wow. Okay. So you're not going to believe me, but by and large, we have an overwhelming winner. I'm going to share my screen because you're going to tell me I'm biased, but I graduated from Cornell. So I must show you look at this. Cornell University, and the second highest would be Davis. So we have a winner, everyone. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay. Yeah, so this is a part where, like I told you earlier, everybody who's from Cornell, turn on your camera, and everybody who's not, turn off your camera so that all of Cornell can move to the front. And then we'll be able, Tiara, can we have like the what do you call it? The tile view instead of the top. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, maybe I can, oh, actually it's just the way I set up my computer. But yeah, so Tiara is going to take the screenshot for all of us. If you have any Cornell kind of, symbols, t-shirts, whatnot, bring it on. I have my, let's see, I have my Cornell blanket. So Tiara, you can give us kind of the okay or like the ready when you're gonna take the screenshot for us.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm still seeing some of the ones that don't have their video on. Lacey, I feel like Lacey, you know how to do this. Like, am I doing it wrong?
I love how you called me
You're
out. I have no idea what's happening.
Oh my goodness. Okay, all right.
How do I, okay, well,
My C is upside down.
If you all raise your
Steffi,
hands,
can you?
if you all raise your hands, will that bring you forward?
Can you say that? Are you saying something, Kara?
I was saying, if you all raise your hands, will that bring you forward?
That does bring people forward. Known fact.
I think you can hide non-video participants.
that's what I was thinking, but I am not, someone help me out. Where is that feature? I'm not seeing it.
If you go to your mutes part of your screen, to the right of that are three dots, and then you can, from there's a menu that reads hide non-video participants.
From the mute place?
Well, that same spot where your mute section is on your own screen.
If
Yeah.
you hit the arrow next to the video button, then it takes you to like, and you hit video settings, and it takes you to a menu, and there's a little box you can check next to hide non-video participants.
Okay. Okay. We're doing it.
We're making it happen, everyone.
We are making it happen because I want you guys. Haha, I found it. I found it. Okay.
Props to you for having your little Cornell stuff. I didn't even tell you in advance. You just brought it out.
Okay, everyone say whatever you want to say to make yourself look good in the picture. Awesome. Okay, I took a bunch, we have to do that these days. And so you guys, well, I can lower your hands. So congratulations to Cornell for always showing up and showing out. Cornell also has the first and only BlackDVM Network student chapter. So they are clearly on the forefront of supporting Black veterinary students and beyond. Awesome. Thank you guys, everyone in the chat that was helping me out with that.
We appreciate you all.
Yeah. Every day is a humbling experience for me. Just when I think I know more than I knew yesterday, I'm reminded there's still a lot to learn. So, Steffi.
Now is the prize.
Yeah. The giveaway time. Okay, so for our giveaway, our calendar winner is Matthew Bingle. Okay, so this was just a random Google thing. So you just need to send your mailing address to info@blackdvmnetwork.com. Okay, so that's info@blackdvmnetwork.com, or you can put it in the contact box of our website, but you have to send it to me or else I can't get this to you. Okay, and then we have one more gift. This is BlackDVM Network journal. So it's very small. It's like fits in your pocket, right, in clinics. Okay, and this is for Renee Cotton. Renee Cotton. Congratulations. Okay, so again, send your mailing address to info@blackdvmnetwork.com so that you can get this. Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys are excited about that.
Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is paste in the chat another link to a survey. So this would be the post-event survey that I want you to all have in hand. You'll probably get something like this with your post-event email as well, but I just want you to have it, click on it and keep it on your tab, to fill it out later when, while the event is fresh. So, and then while that's in the background, I'm going to pull up one last slide just to prepare us for the next section of our conversation. So just some community guidelines. Remember to take space if you're not someone who quickly jumps into conversation, and make space if you're the person who tends to speak more easily and freely. This is going to be more for later on, but try to use I statements when you're having conversations And then remember that story stays, lesson leave, and that again will be the grayed out is more for, you know, if we break out into smaller sessions. But yeah, just remember the community guidelines as we get moving. But this is a part where we want to hear from you. You know, we want to hear from those of you who have been highlighted in the video for sure right now. Please stop sharing. But this is your moment. You don't have to, but I'm leaving you the floor.
This is Lila. I'd like to say something. And I'm so excited about these two groups being formed, because when Rochelle and I graduated in 1977, we felt so totally isolated from the Black community. And when we would go to conferences, we would always go to Tuskegee's, you know, reunion, because that was where we would see other Black faces. And usually we didn't see any, certainly not at Cornell, and certainly not at the conference floor, but whenever you went to Tuskegee, that's where we saw folks. And I have to say, about 20 years ago, and Rochelle, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we started talking about forming a Black network. And we got some pushback. We didn't follow through. It was going to be a lot of work. This was sort of early days of email and social media. And so just getting a list together to try to, you know, connect people seemed like a pretty daunting endeavor. So I can't tell you how much this means to me that you guys did what we wanted to do, had the will to do, didn't have the means to do. And it's just really, really exciting. So thank you guys. I know this was a lot of work.
And it means so much to hear that from you, Lila. Thank you for coming, and I'm really glad you appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to say how interesting it really was to see the video and just get a sense of who was out there going to vet school, getting involved early on until now. And also, when you talked about looking at the point where the college was established and when the first Black graduates were, that was very interesting. In some cases, it took a long time. At the later schools, it took, you know, less time for them to participate and be able to graduate. So I like history, so I really like what you've done there. Very much appreciated.
I'd like to say that one thing that some of the newbies would not understand is back in the 70s when we were doing this, we were on an island. We didn't have the support, and we were oftentimes mistreated by our classmates. And I don't know if it's the same experience that the current students and the new graduates experience, because I still feel that there's a big problem with diversity and inclusion. And, you know, for us older ones that were out there on that island where we were treated as if we were poison and that we were only there because of our skin color and we couldn't cut the mustard, we couldn't do it, we didn't have the academic strength or fortitude, that is oftentimes missed because I think organizations like this will be supportive. We didn't have anyone to go to. We had to really dig deep within our own being, our own soul, our own existence to make it happen because we wanted to graduate. We wanted to be veterinarians more than anything in the whole wide world. And not having the camaraderie that they may be experiencing now was not there. It was not there. And my hat's off to those that came before me and those that are after me. But I know from Rochelle, what you're saying and what Lila just said, I am sure it was not easy at all to fit in.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about, you know, the conversation that's going on today about this interest in diversity, when Rochelle and I started at Cornell back in '73, and we went to Cornell undergraduate. That's how determined we were to get in vet school. We knew we had to be at Cornell undergraduate to try to get into the vet school. I didn't realize at the time that she and I were the first African-American women to go through the program. I didn't really learn that. It didn't really sink in until later on. And it's just amazing to me to look back, and we think that this is a new interest. In '73, I was approached by the dean to recruit African-American students to Cornell. And my response, I'm a student here. The most important thing I need to do is graduate. I don't have the skill set to recruit African-American students. I come from Harlem. Was I supposed to go into the neighborhood and say, y'all come? If you're serious about this, then you need to hire staff who are trained to recruit people. So that was '72. And, you know, if you think this is something new or a resurgence, I've been hearing this conversation for many, many, many years. So that's another reason why I'm so excited to see this organization and to see the breadth of participation from all the different schools. Because also at the point in time that I went to apply to Cornell, I was told to apply to Tuskegee. So we've come a long way, guys.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I don't know if that's part of the rules. I don't know if that was a story or I'm not sure.
I might have been outside of the rules also. That's not abnormal to me, though.
But I think it's important to put it in the historical context of at least, you know, my experiences at Cornell, which is there's always been an interest in diversity, but I don't know. There's been some successes and some failures.
I'd just like to say something. I was the first Black person at the University of Tennessee CVM, and I graduated in 1981. And I was talking privately to one of you. I don't know who it was. I was the only Black person in the entire facility. I'm talking janitors, everybody. I had nobody there but me. And it was like that the entire time I was there. But I want to tell you, I made sure when they came around and they were trying to take pictures, I made sure that they did. Because if there was anything I could do to get more of us in there, I was happy to do so. I don't know if it made that much difference. I noted that the first male African-American to graduate was almost a decade after me. And I wasn't happy with that, but it wasn't anything that I had control over. All I could do was encourage as many as I knew. And I think that's what all of us do. I'm pleased to see who we have here and where we've come to today. And it just means a lot. And I'm grateful that there's a support network out there for us today. Thank you so much for all that you've done and all that you continue to do. You appreciate it.
I may sign and chip in on this also. This is Toya McWilliams. I graduated from LSU in 1987. I was very pleased to have heard about this network. I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm just hearing about this because I am a lab animal veterinarian. LSU reached out to me and said that you all were doing this. I was really excited, you know, to be finally recognized after 30 years is really important. You know, everybody brushed it off before that. And just to kind of give you a history of LSU, they showed two, the first Black man and the first female, you know, so when, you know, all my life I wanted to be a veterinarian. My father went to Tuskegee, you know, I was primed to go to Tuskegee. That's where I wanted to go. And so I'm talking to the people at Tuskegee and they tell me, well, you know, LSU now is under consent decree and they need Black students who want to go to veterinary school there. And they will do anything to get you there, as well as you have the grades to be able to succeed. I did not want to go to LSU. I wanted to go to Tuskegee, but I did go to LSU. You know, I did very well in LSU, and a lot of my classmates were in my class at the veterinary school. However, they knew what my GPA was. They knew what I brought to the table, but however, they denied it. You know, they made it seem as though I was there because I was just Black. you know, and they all knew that I had a GPA higher than theirs, that I had been consistently on a dean's list. But, you know, I had support because we were under consent decree. You know, they had to actively go out and recruit other Black people. So the class before me was Eugenie Daniels and Gary Stevens. I can't remember. Gary had applied to LSU's veterinary school 8 times and had not gotten in until that consent decree came. And then behind me, we have somebody on the call now. Lyndon is here, but we had 3 to 4 Black students in the classes because of this consent decree. So we were all able to really support ourselves, but it wasn't easy. So in my class, it was 3 of us who were there, but I was the only one who was successful. You know, it was very hard. It was extremely hard. And so, you know, I'm just so excited to see there's 109 people on the call tonight. And, you know, they're all veterinarians. You guys are all young. You're talking about he, she, her, what? And I'm like, what in the world is this? You know, and I'm just, it feels really good, you know, and I'm glad you guys did this because as you spoke, we all just had to flock to Tuskegee because it wasn't enough of us to really try and put together an organization. And, you know, you would hear Black doctors talking about, well, we have the American Black Medical Association. You know, it's like, well, it's just not enough of us, you know, because the Tuskegee people had their own, so they weren't interested in really trying to form another network with us. So again, I'm just really excited. We have quite a few Black veterinarians who are lab animal veterinarians, and we really need to get them involved in this because I'm more than sure if I haven't heard of it, I haven't heard of you guys, they probably haven't either. And so that's going to be one of my missions, is that we're going to get more people in the lab animal program into this organization. And thank you all. It was a really nice video. I had tears in my eyes.
Well, God bless you. And I really appreciate your information. And I did want to say that I did start in 1977. My undergraduate was Tuskegee, and University of Florida was opening their school, and I was told I would have to go back there. And I started with one other Black gentleman, and he flunked out the first year. So then I was by myself. So, and they tried to retain him, but he just couldn't make it. And it really did, it was devastating because we were like peas in a pod, you know, wherever you saw me, you saw John, and he just could not make it. But it was quite, I have to admit, I was very angry. I didn't want pictures because it was well beyond the time to only have one of me in that school or any program. I mean, I didn't even want the recognition. I just wanted to make it and do a good job and represent. So I'm so happy to be a part of this. It's the first time I've heard about it. And it was because of the administration at the University of Florida's vet school that told me about this, that I'm here today. So I'm very happy to be a part of this. And my hat's off to all of us, and let's keep it going.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for your comments, for sharing the stories and your experiences in vet school. For me, it's both comforting and disheartening to know that, you know, I can relate to the experiences that you guys had 20, 30 years ago. But it helps me because I know that I'm not alone. So we're gonna head into breakout groups. Steffi, do you have one thing to add?
Yeah, really quickly. So I just wanted to point out, during the process of gathering the information, you start to notice patterns. And that's a pattern that I wanted to make sure I say in this group so we can get some historical context. But a really high number of first, second, third Black veterinarians who graduated in the United States ended up you know, with this degree in veterinary medicine and pursuing instead going into the federal government for the United States Department of Agriculture and ended up working as food, meat and poultry inspectors. doesn't say whether or not they worked in the veterinary capacity, but this is what the United States or the Times provided for them. Many of us here actually, as Black veterinarians, actually occupy that space, right? Like we work with the United, there's precedence to that. There's kind of historical context, understanding, you know, why there are so many people of color in veterinary medicine who end up going to the federal government. But that's something I wanted to bring up, that was, I am someone who works with the United States Department of Agriculture as a Black veterinarian for the food safety inspection services. And that was something for me to notice. It's just one after the other. They graduated, you know, there were hardships and they decided, well, this is a place that I'm going. This is a place that offers me money right now and opportunity and benefit.
Steffi, I can address part of that, I think, is just what you said.
Yeah.
That's where people could find a job. And most of the time, and what I saw with my classmates is, and when I tried, well, you read my paper, that no one would even let me volunteer when I was trying to work prior to being accepted to vet school. So if you don't have anybody to help you before you get there, during, and then after, you go where you can find a job. And I looked at so many classmates, all they did was step out of vet school and go back to the practice where they had either worked before school or they had family that was already in there and so on and so forth. I didn't have anybody to help me. And I imagine a bunch of us still don't.
And it was also the boards. It was also the boards. In Louisiana, you had to jump through major hoops to pass your boards. So it was easier for you to go somewhere else and take the boards and be successful than it was to stay in Louisiana. And they would just ding you on a technicality. And it wasn't until George Robinson, and he probably was the second Black who finished from LSU, got on the Louisiana Veterinary Board, that he was able to correct that. But it was a struggle for us to pass the boards. You know, so if they couldn't keep you out of veterinary school, they weren't successful at keeping you out of veterinary school, they were successful at not allowing you to pass your boards. You know, so,
no.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say one thing about the federal government and employment there. I think that both FSIS, the Food Safety Inspection Service, and the Bureau of Animal Industry, Animal Plant Health Inspection Service, I think that when you got into what was essentially a civil service type of employment, then although there is still and was still the opportunity for discrimination there was less of an opportunity because it was civil service. So I think it provided a place to land where you were more likely to be able to get that position based on merit, you know, based on your abilities, than it was in places where it was private employment and all they had to do was say no.
Yeah, and building on what Toya said, it was the same. So you would think that, you know, you have these discriminatory practices more prevalent in the South, but in New York State, we had a state board and it was the same. And I was so discouraged when I left Cornell. The reason I ended up in the shelter was because I was looking for a way to just leave the profession altogether when I graduated. And when I got the opportunity to be on the New York State board, I took it because I wanted to get rid of the exam. Because being on the inside and seeing how the process worked, it was very clear that there was bias in that process. And I love the fact that when we were voting, we thought we had all the votes to get rid of the state board exam. And at the last minute, they told me that I had to make sure that I came to the meeting because I was the person to cast the deciding vote to get rid of the exam. It was just riddled with bias, and not just against Black people. It was against Jews. It was against people from other states. It was against people from other countries. A very, very, very corrupt process. So like you, Toya, and I know George Robinson, and you know, we're good friends, and getting on the state board, I tried to recruit more Black people to be on the state board. and couldn't get any practitioners that were interested. People were so busy struggling to make it in their practices that they just felt like they couldn't devote the time that was needed to be on the state board. And I said, but that's where we're critically needed. There's a lack of diversity on so many levels. When you look at AVMA, when you look at the AAVSB, we really do need to get, more involved. And I think having a group like the BlackDVM Network and the Multicultural Society, that ought to be one of the thrusts that you're looking to, is the networking and getting more involved at the leadership levels.
For sure. That, Dr. Miller, it's funny that you were talking about state boards, because we were approached by some people in shelter med that, are looking to help people get on state boards. I'm
glad to hear that.
Yeah. So, and just learning about the nomination just learning about the entire process, right, is eye-opening, because for most of us, we don't even talk about it. It's not openly, said. It's not public knowledge. Well, it is public knowledge, but it's still a very tricky process. So, yeah, we would love to talk with you about how to recruit more people onto state boards. So just for maybe like the last 15 minutes or so, this is still a pretty big group. There's about 100 of us in here. So we're gonna just hop into one breakout room, probably small groups like 8 or 9, and you can introduce yourself, maybe meet someone new, right? Talk about your area of practice, and we can have just like a little bit more discussion in a smaller group, and then we'll come back in about 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to automatically assign everyone to a breakout room. Obviously, if you would like to leave, if you are done with this, then you can go. But if you would like to stay, you'll be put in a breakout room in just a few seconds. Okay, so if you're still in here, you just need to either hit join room or if you don't want to join a room, you can exit the meeting. Or if you want, you can stay in here with me. You can decline your room and stay in the main room with me. All right, so everyone's just kind of filing back in from the breakout sessions. I hope that you guys met someone new. I tried to pop into all of them and say hi to everybody.
My heart is still just so full. I think this experience is staying with me for a few days.
So it's Steffi, whenever Steffi comes in, I'm sure that she will, and have more information and announce this, but the video will be available for future use and for sharing and stuff.
Yeah, we're talking about the video being available for people, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the video will be live tomorrow, before noon. So be sure to check it out. It will be released on the MCVMA YouTube channel, and you'll also see it through our MCVMA Facebook page and Instagram. And hopefully you all can help circulate it so it can be available everywhere.
Stephanie?
Yeah.
You have me in the wrong state.
Oh, I have you in the wrong state.
Yeah,
See,
you
this
said
is
Mississippi.
Is that right?
No, I never lived in Mississippi. I lived, when I was working, I lived in North Carolina. I don't know if you can change it, but
I can. We can change it. The
We'll
good thing is,
happily, we'll happily claim you, Dr. Jean.
What?
I said, we'll
That'd be
happily claim
fine.
you, Dr. Jean.
I appreciate that. I don't mind a bit.
well, they can claim you in spirit, but we'll make sure we can change it before it gets released live tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know.
I'm going to message you to make sure that it's okay too, what we put in there.
Yeah. So like Steffi said, the video will be up and it'll be live. We recorded, or we streamed the first part of this event live on Facebook for people to watch and to share the video, but that was just for like a live streaming, and so from there you'll have to share it from the YouTube channel. Kara, did you have something that you wanted to add?
Yeah, do you all have more information about each of the people featured in the videos?
Yeah, so if you notice at the end of the video, I'm actually also typing it in the chat, mcvma.org/notthelast. You will be able to scroll through all of the names and actually have paragraphs of their stories. Sometimes we receive like pages and pages of their stories. We try to make sure that we can capture that. And you're also our eyes, right? So if you notice anything that needs fixing, let us know. These are a lot of people. We want to make sure we do it right. So, okay. But yeah, go online.
We're open to the feedback. And if you see something, say
yeah.
something, right? If you see something, say something always. So let us know, but also check out their website. It'll be linked on everything that's posted, but there are paragraphs about these people and their journeys, their stories, everything that they've done is so inspiring. We obviously could not fit it on the one slide that was shown about them. So please check that out. But with that, I won't hold you any longer. Steffi put in the chat the post-event survey one more time. And so please fill that out. We would love to have your feedback. If you have any feedback that you want BlackDVM Network or me to know specifically, feel free to reach out. We're always open to feedback as well. But with that, you guys have a great night. Thank you again so much for coming. And we would love to see you guys again at all of our other events.
Of course. It was such a pleasure having you all.
Right. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you guys.
Nice meeting everyone.
Oh, Dr. Miller, I'm so happy that you came. You just have no idea. I'm obsessed with you. I work for the ASPCA. Oh, wait, you're muted.
You're muted.
Let me unmute her.
There we go.
Yeah, I have to say that one of the great things, I started the ASPCA right when I graduated in '77, and we mentored a lot of Black vets. that couldn't get jobs anyplace else, and they were in that in-between stage trying to get a license. So we would hire them to work in our clinic and in the shelter. And it was just like a procession of people that came through there. It was an amazing gateway into New York City. And
I met her. I didn't enter there, but my friends did.
Right, Toya and so many, well, they're not here, but Toya, you know that the list is quite long of Black vets that came. And because my mentor, Dr. Tate, was on the state board, he would try to help people pass the board exams and things like that. So there's, you know, the networking, the mentoring, it's so critical. And the one thing I have to say though is, and I'm sorry to hear that, you know, things may not have changed. I try not to keep talking about these stories because I feel like that was a long time ago. Nobody needs to hear about stuff that they can't relate to. And then, you know, hearing Gerald talk about, you know, he doesn't know if it's the same, and hearing some students say that it is. And when I was teaching up at Cornell, I still felt this kind of sense of alienation. And I'm really sorry to see that because, you know,
I think that, you know, I think that the difference will really come in when people feel supported. And sometimes it's hard to feel supported by people that you can't relate to. And so as much as we need our allies and we need, you know, everyone to be involved, sometimes you really need someone that you can truly, that truly feels like family. And for me, that's what BlackDVM Network is, right? Like I had friends in vet school, they were great, but I needed to find the Black community in vet med to feel whole, to make sure that, you know, I wasn't just like on this uphill battle all the time.
I'm sorry that we couldn't pull the network together when we first started talking about doing it. But as I said, pre-social media, trying to figure out how we'd have to get Tuskegee's alumni list. And as somebody mentioned, Tuskegee was already the network. So they didn't have any particular interest in, you know, forming a network outside of their core group, and trying to identify who went to other schools was really, it seemed like an impossible task at the time. So this is, you know,
I mean, it's definitely been hard, and I do get pushback from, you know, a lot of groups. I'm young, right? I just graduated in May. People are like, who are you to be leading a group like this or to be starting a group like this? So I understand how hard it is, and I understand how hard it must have been before the era of social media, because BlackDVM Network started on Instagram. Like Instagram is the reason that it was able to grow, right? Because you share someone's photo and they're like, oh, thank you for sharing my photo. You know, everyone loves the recognition. So they share the page and then they share the page. So that's what got the word out. But, you know, if I went door to door saying like, do you know a Black veterinarian? People are too busy to care about that for the most part. You know, a lot of vets, I meet a lot of Black vets and I say, hey, we would love to have you, you know, work with us, blah, blah, blah. And they're too busy. They're trying to build their own careers, which is understandable. And just like you said, when you were a student, you're like, I'm trying to graduate. I can't help you guys recruit Black veterinarians, but, or Black vet students. But yeah, I mean, we should talk because there's a lot of opportunity, and the connectivity in the Black community in vet med is so necessary. So I was just so happy to see you. I've, of course, like, you know, read your name in all these different places, and I'm just completely immersed in shelter med at this point. So
I'm working on the last textbook, so hopefully to get the manuscript for infectious disease management out soon.
I'll proofread it if you want me to.
Oh, you should have asked. You should have told me that like a month ago. I'm almost done. I gotta send me your email because I may still take you. I've got like a week left to work on it.
Okay.
And don't know how to.
You can do it, Tiara.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep, I have surgery books under my bed that I whip out.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right.
That's a lot. Well, you can have the shelter med book.
I'm like, this biology of neutrophils will put me to bed.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
well,
all right. Well,
so
thank
anyway,
you guys. I didn't mean to hold you guys even more.
So we do have a network of Black-led veterinarians. And so tomorrow I will post to them that they should all be involved.
Yeah.
so
Do you know
I
Lauren Davidson?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Alex,
Hey, Dr. McWilliams, do you know Lexi J? She's a lab animal veterinarian.
No.
Isn't
No?
Alex also
Okay.
lab animal, Kara?
Especially
Yeah,
if they're like
Alex.
a lot younger than me, I don't know them.
Oh yeah, Alexandria.
Okay, yeah. So Lexi J, she's a Black lab animal veterinarian. She's probably around my age, and she was one of the founding board members of MCVMA. And then Alexandria Hicks Nelson, she also is a lab animal vet
I've seen that name.
in both of our groups. Yeah.
Really cool.
Oh, and also I went back and looked at the video. So my hometown is New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans. That wasn't listed.
Okay, can you let me write it down so that I don't actually forget.
Thank you, Steffi.
Yeah.
appreciate you. Like,
So that's the tricky part about speaking through third person, like the university administrators who don't have the information that they should have. Wink, wink. But yeah, so this is perfect. You can proofread for me now that we're here.
all right, Steffi, Kara, let's start.
Kiara and Steffi, you all did a wonderful job on this.
I agree.
It was
Steffi,
so
wherever
moving.
Steffi is on the screen, like it was, I mean, Steffi really took the lead. I had, an unexpected event happen right at the beginning of February, and I was out for 2 weeks, and I am so grateful that MCVMA has a tribe of people because it was only because of them. Who else? Carissa, Dorica,
Tina.
We should have said their names. Like we should have had a little Grammy, speech, because there were so many people that worked on this project.
Yeah, to reach out to all those vet schools. That was amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that it went okay. I'll still beat myself up over the middle of the video hiccup.
Well, now we have to all go back and watch it again. So.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. Perfect.
So we're waiting till tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, they can just rewatch it. I think
I was like, oh no, which school did I block? They're gonna hate me.
It's probably like 3 seconds. It's totally fine.
Well, I was too embarrassed to admit that I didn't catch the beginning. I kept saying, I heard the music, but I couldn't see the video. And I said, somebody besides me would be saying something. And I kept looking and looking because I've done so many Zooms and I said, I don't understand why. And then finally I found it. So I didn't see me or Roche because what you did it alphabetically for the schools. So I said,
actually, it was done by date of graduation. We wanted to end with the latest graduation to show kind of this is still
being an old timer. I realized I would have been one of the first. I missed about the first 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah.
No, we had to mix it up. I think it's because schools like Penn and Cornell, like the first Black male veterinarian is so long before the first Black woman veterinarian.
Yeah.
And that was we had to figure out how to match it because the school had to, so it was very interesting. And that's another thing we wanted to focus on, because if we just said the first Black veterinarian, we would have had an overwhelmingly male representation. But yeah, hopefully it went okay. But you'll see the video tomorrow, and
I will see it tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. This again. This was so wonderful. I'm so glad that you folks were able to get it together, and I think you're going to do amazing stuff. So, thank you.
With your help.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I didn't say that.
I just volunteered.
You snuck that in. I didn't expect this.
I think that was really one of the best things about this event was connecting the different generations all coming together to talk. So that was really something special.
Yeah, really it was, because one, I don't really go to the AVMA meeting that often, so I would not necessarily have met you all. And it was only really one person on this call besides the OGs like myself that I knew, and she just recently reached out to me because she's trying to do an internship in lab animal medicine. So now when I see you guys at AVMA, whenever I go again, I'll know you all.
And Dr. McWilliams, I think you mentioned his name, but I just want to confirm, Dr. George Robinson, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, we should all talk because Dr. Robinson's a huge mentor for me, and he's been like the leading force, like propping me up for BlackDVM Network. So he's been amazing. So I'm glad that.
Well, George was one of those people that we talked to years ago when we were saying we should do this.
We should do this. Yep.
He wasn't from Tuskegee either. And George and I have been talking about this over the years. And about 3 years ago, he said, I'm gonna see that this gets done. So
yep. So if you see me, just imagine George like
And George has moved all over the place, from like New Orleans to Tampa to California. He's in Chicago. He's been in Chicago longer than I would have expected. But
no, he just moved to Florida.
He's in Florida now?
He just moved, like after he transitioned out of Heartland Veterinary Partners, or transitioned to a new role. He packed his stuff and he went to Florida.
Yeah, because the grass doesn't grow under his feet long.
No, it surely doesn't. And he was in Chicago way longer than I thought he would be. So.
And I was lucky enough, I had to take California boards in Chicago because of the pandemic. So I caught him in Chicago and was able to have socially distanced lunch.
We technically grew up together, so I've been knowing George forever.
Really?
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna tell him that I met you, and he's gonna probably like freak out.
Yeah, because we went to so George and I are actually around the same age. And so George is one of those people who went to veterinary school when we were still trying to get through pre-vet school. So he was very young for his class, but we were all the same age. Yeah, so I've been knowing George forever. And it's so funny you say that, because I was living in San Diego when George was in San Diego. And we just so happened to be, I think, on a plane going back home to Louisiana, and say, what are you doing in this plane? And he says, I live in San Diego. I'm like, I live in San Diego also. So it was kind of good at that point to connect with him, to have somebody from home, with you when you're somewhere else. So it was kind of good. But yeah, we've been friends for forever. So when you say, you don't even have to say my last name, you just have to say Toya, and he knows who you're talking about.
Awesome. Well, you guys
I'm sure going to razz him for moving to Florida. You've been telling me to come to Chicago to visit for the longest time, and now he's going to Florida.
What part of Florida?
Let him know about that.
What part of Florida?
You know where in Florida?
He has told me. I think it's close to St. Petersburg.
Okay.
I think. So, yeah.
Can you send me your email?
Me?
Okay.
Yeah. I think I have your email. Oh, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to check real quick. So I was chatting with our videographer to make sure that we can update it. Okay, so I have a question. Is it better that we delay this video one day to make sure that the hometown is correct?
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
hope people don't get upset that I lied to them.
If people get upset, Steffi, you know how I feel about if people get
Okay.
So you mean I won't be able to look at it tomorrow?
I will do my best. So you'll never be able to see it.
I gotta wait a whole nother day. Oh no.
Okay, so if Dr. Miller's upset, then you can send her the video.
No.
For everyone
I'll send you the one with the incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't share that one.
All right.
But okay. All right. I'll do my best. So we'll see what happens. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you again. This was wonderful.
Good chatting with you.
Take
guys.
care.
As well as
bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.